I am making 75% dark chocolate, pure organic dark chocolate bars. I'm making enough for 16 bars, but usually there's a little left over, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to temper it, and it's fairly easy. It's 3 ingredients, and none of them are cheap. Well, the honey isn't bad. The cocoa butter, and you can get it in wafers, which I find melts really easy, or you can get it in chunks, but you got to get food grade, and it is roughly 25 bucks a pound, so it's not cheap. But also you need to get quality cacao powder or cocoa powder, and then organic raw honey, so there's no sugar in it at all. But so what you do first is you melt the cocoa wafers, the cocoa butter wafers, and you melt that thoroughly, and then you add in the honey and make sure that that's all melted thoroughly, and then you add in the cocoa powder. After that, you temper it, and I will explain to you what that is in the next segment. We are now at the point where we have to temper the chocolate. Now, you don't have to, but chocolate will only last for a couple weeks, and it'll be soft after you put it in its form and you take it out if you don't temper it. And basically what you're doing when you're tempering it is you're just like, you're cooling it down, then you're cooling it down further, and then you're heating it back up. And so right now, and I was trying to figure out a way to do it because it has to be a certain temp. I thought, oh my gosh, I have a sous vide component here. And so I thought, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my sous vide. And so I looked it up online, and by golly, the temperatures were right there. So what I've done is I've put the chocolate, it's enough to make 16 bars. So it's a pretty good sized batch, and I didn't know how big the bag had to be, so I put it in a 2-gallon. I could have gone with a 1-gallon, but I put it in the sous vide tank, and let's see if it's gonna work here. Oh yeah. So, and what you do is you time it for 15 minutes at 122 degrees, and then you lower the temp down to 92 degrees. No, I take that back. 82 degrees, and then back up to 90. And you give it a stir because that helps to crystallize the chocolate in there. So every once in a while, I'll just kind of manipulate that around in there. Usually I'll have magnets that will keep it under the water, but it seems to be heavy enough to want to stay underwater. So I'm going to go get my forms now, and that will be the next step. All right, my chocolate is tempered, and I'm ready to pour into my forms. I have 8 of them, but I have enough for 16 or maybe a little bit more. So the next segment you'll see is the forms all poured. My forms are poured, and what I found is that I have dogs and they like chocolate. So I had put them on a cookie sheet, but the cookie sheet was not level. So they turned out okay, but they weren't as level as I'd like them to be. So what I'm gonna do is I just put them on my counter, and I'm just gonna set chairs up around it so they can't get to it. Anyway, so that's 8 forms. I bet you I have enough chocolate to make, I don't know, at least another 8, maybe another 16. But we'll see. And all I have to do is put them right back in my sous vide at 90 degrees, and this will take probably 2 or 3 hours to set up, but I can leave it in that sous vide as long as I want, as long as it's at 90 degrees. So here we go. I'll show you when they're ready to take out of the forms, how beautiful they look. My chocolate bars are all done. So my yield is, I got 21 bars out of it. I probably would have gotten more, but this is what my bag looks like. And there's a lot of good chocolate in there, which will harden, and I'll be able to peel it out of there and munch on it if I want to. But so the way it looks is like this. And I'll peel this out of here, see if I can do it with one hand without breaking the bar. And let me see. There it is, voila. So I'll stick it in one of these bags, which I found, I don't remember where I found it, but they have perfect Christmas bag, gift bags. And I also roast my own coffee, so I'll hand out some chocolate and coffee and kind of a fun homemade Christmas gift. And the chocolate is so good. And what makes it 75% is the amount of cocoa products you put in. So it's mostly cocoa butter, but you got, it's 50% cocoa butter, 25% cocoa powder, and 25% honey. So it's 75% cocoa products. So that's what makes it 75% cocoa. But it's easy. It's a little time consuming, and it's, I mean, like I said, I wasted a lot right here, but I still will be able to use it. I don't know how, you can see it breaking up in there. We'll be able to eat that. I don't believe in wasting chocolate at all. That'd be crazy. So that's how you make chocolate bars. And listen, if I can do it, anybody can do it.